Isolation and how trauma can trigger it. Now, some people would say, I talk about isolation. Some people just want to be on their own. Some people don't like drama. Some people don't like crowd and everything. Yes, it's true. I, for one, sometimes I just feel the need to just get away from people and go put myself together. Now, why you could say trauma can trigger isolation is, I talked about shame, I talked about not forgiving yourself and all that. So in that time when you're high on emotions, when you're all over the place, when you don't really feel like yourself, you tend to want to pull back from people. And isolation in itself is very dangerous because that's why there is a clause. There is a clause when it comes to isolation. The clause is someone can be in a room filled with people and is isolated. Now, why this issue of trauma is very, very, very sensitive is you don't really know. You don't know. Someone can be showing up every day and they are not okay. That is why this topic is very pertinent to me and it is very sensitive. Someone can be coming to work every day, smiling all broadly. And the weird thing is, it is those people that are high on activity, those people that smile a lot, that are always playful, they are the ones. They are the ones that are really, really, really into whatever pain that has happened. Now, some people will say things like, eh, um, someone can just want to just be on their own. Yes, that is why you see some people, they will go to a party. They are actually involved in that party. They were there, but they were not there because they've disconnected here. They are not mentally, in their mind, they are not there. They've already built another world of their own. And that's why the issue of trauma is a very different topic altogether because you might think, okay, the person is traumatized and the person just did it. The truth is, the person can be in a room with you and the person is not there. The person is battling with so many emotions that are weighing them down. That's why you see someone who would go to a party, laugh, play, be all up hyped by the whole activity and they'll go back and unalive themselves. Because in their mind they've already isolated themselves from reality, from everything. So anything that you're doing from then on out, they're not involved in it. They can be physically involved, like physically, just not to raise suspicion. But just like I said the other day, I said that there are people, some people will never understand you. So most people that are traumatized will be like, they're embarrassed by the situation. They'll be like, if I go and tell this person now, will they understand me? Will they know what I'm talking about? So instead of them talking to somebody, they'll rather keep it to themselves and isolate and go be on their own. And that is where negative thoughts creeps in. Just like the public saying goes, and I don't mind, the rest. So the truth is, isolation most often is dangerous because that's where addiction starts. That's where negative thoughts come in. That's where you begin to get yourself involved in harmful things that are not healthy for your mind, things that are not healthy for your body, things that are not healthy for your environment. We talked about substance abuse. Now we're talking about isolation because isolation is more like, I think maybe we would have talked about this topic before, addiction, but it's still, they are still all part of it. All the topics surrounding, all the symptoms surrounding trauma are intertwined. You can't do away with any of them. You can't say, let me talk about this one and leave this one. You can't say, let me treat this one and not treat this one. They are all together. You understand? So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that isolation, trauma can trigger isolation so much that someone can, like, let me give you an example. Take, for example, children who are bullied in school. Most of the times you see them come back and the first thing they want to do is just go to their room or just go to one corner and sit and not say anything. And maybe you ask questions like, my love, how are you doing? Are you okay? It's like, yeah, I'm fine. Because at that time they feel like if they tell you, you might not really understand it. If they tell you, you might you might wave it off, because most times some people, I think it's the way we've built the society, because some people feel like if I tell this person that, they might laugh. If I tell this person what happened to me, they might ask me why didn't I do anything about it. But most of the times, especially when something unexpected happens to you just suddenly, it's not like you can't do anything. It's at the time, it's the shock of it that can make you static, that can make you just stay at the spot without moving. So most of it, it's not even that you cannot do anything, it's that you are too shocked to react, or too shocked to do something. So people would rather just, when that thing happens to them, they just rather just go to their room, sit down, go to their room, go just do something, and just stay on their own. Now, those, just like I said, those feeling of shame, those feeling of embarrassment, those feeling of hate for themselves creeps in. And the weird thing about this kind of things is they don't go ahead to hate the person that did that thing to them. They hate themselves. Now they isolate. You see, when they get to that point where they're isolated, they don't eat. Some of them don't even, some of them go to the extreme of not even showering. Some of them go to the extreme of not doing anything. But one thing that I've learned about being isolated, it doesn't help. It's no good, because that's when the whole thought of evil creeps in. You begin to think, you begin to ask yourself some weird questions that are not even supposed to be there. Those questions are not supposed to be there because you did not do that thing to yourself. So I'm still going to talk more about isolation and how best to come out of it, because the truth is, you can't tell someone who is going through pain not to be isolated. That is their way of feeling better. That's the only way they can go back and pull back from everything to get themselves together. But there is a good one and there's the bad isolation. The good one could be probably the one that leads to recharging. That one that you just pull back to just put yourself together, get your thoughts in order, pen some certain things down. You understand? That one is more like a different case altogether. But you see, that comes from the one that comes from um, pain and trauma, that one is very dangerous. It's not something you take for granted. It's not something you take for granted, because it can lead to so many things. It can lead to so many things. Like, you can go wild with your imagination. It can lead to a lot of things. So these are the kind of things that some people don't talk about. You see your child is not as active as he or she used to be. The child doesn't play as they used to play. They are now sitting down at the corner of the house, or always in their room, and you don't go ahead to find out, or try to know what is going on. And most often traumatized, the trauma that makes people isolated is abuse. Mostly the kind of trauma that makes people isolated is abuse, either um, assault or sexual abuse, or you know those abuses that hit both the body and the mind. That is what makes people isolated. At that time, they don't want to talk, they don't want to associate with anyone. They feel like no one will understand them, they feel like no one will get them. So they want to just be on their own and get their thoughts together. But the truth is, at the time, you are not even okay. So your thoughts are not together. Your thoughts are not together. A lot of things will be coming in. A lot of action words will be coming in that are not safe for you at the time. So we'll still talk more on this. I'll still try to better elaborate on it and how best to go about it.